In the dazzling haze of Hollywood's ever-spinning rumor mill, where murmurs of reboots and remakes whirl like dust devils in a Kansas cornfield, a fresh wind of enchantment has blown in. If you will, try to picture the yellow brick road not being paved with emerald fantasies, but rather thumping with the twang of country guitars and the pop-punk pulse of no doubt anthems. Dorothy, a striking new series on Prime Video that reimagines L. Frank Baum's legendary The Wizard of Oz as a music-soaked young adult epic, exudes an ambitious mood that is reminiscent of the ageless literary classic. Also, who is in charge? The power couple whose real-life romance has been the stuff of tabloid fairy tales ever since they were on The Voice is none other than Blake Shelton, a country music superstar, and Gwen Stefani, a pop music icon. The announcement of this project took place before the end of August 2025, and it is not merely a nostalgic wink, rather, it is a wickedly inventive surprise that promises to click its ruby heels and bring us somewhere over a double rainbow of forms of expression. A little amount of rewinding is in order. Judy Garland's performance as Dorothy Gale, a wide-eyed Dorothy Gale in the original Wizard of Oz, which was a Technicolor triumph in 1939, has enchanted generations with its emerald allure, flying monkeys, and that memorable plea, "There's no place like home." The Wiz, with its soulful stride, and Wicked, with its Broadway wizardry, which just astonished theaters with its first film chapter, are just two examples of the many things that stemmed from this phenomenon. However, Dorothy, Gina Matthews, the creator of 13 Going on 30, Isn't It Romantic?, has given this one a makeover that is more in line with the millennial generation. This series, which is set against the neon jungle of modern-day Manhattan, is a metaphor for the labyrinthine decisions that young adults must make. It flips the script on Baum's Oz. Forget about the sepia-toned prairies. Here, Dorothy's tornado is more like the maelstrom of city life. It is filled with crushing auditions, ghosted texts, and quarter-life crises that make you doubt if you are brainless, uncaring, or just cowardly for scrolling through TikTok at 3 in the morning. Because of the incorporation of music, this is not just another reboot. Rather, it has the ability to completely transform the game. Matthews, who has been a self-proclaimed Oz fanatic since boyhood, has a vision of a soundtrack that incorporates original songs into the storyline in the same way that a tartan plaid's threads are woven together. The story reminds us of the qualities we need to get through hard times, as she said to Deadline, and Dorothy is a symbol of strength who shows us that with a little kindness and a lot of grit, we can not only achieve great things, but also lift up those around us. There are empowerment anthems for the scroll generation, where the scarecrow laments for smarts in a world of artificial intelligence overload. The Tin Man rusts from emotional fatigue, and the Cowardly Lion roars against imposter syndrome. This is the kind of thing that young adults may look forward to. Imagine that Dorothy is singing a power ballad about the power of visualizing your dreams while her heels are clicking through subway carriages instead of poppy fields. She is doing this while facing rent hikes and side hustles. This is where Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani come in as executive producers. Their celebrity power is so impressive that even the Wicked Witch of the West would be envious of them. Through his Lucky Horseshoe banner, Shelton, a country crooner who has been nominated for 9 Grammys, and whose voice is reminiscent of aged bourbon, and whose easy charm is reminiscent of a rancher, was initially made aware of the initiative. His words were as follows: "We are really excited about all the possibilities that this show brings, and I am so grateful that Gina shared the idea with me and Lee Metzger. Right away, I had a feeling that it was something that Gwen would find meaningful. Because of her unique originality and point of view, she is an excellent choice for this development. This is a classic Blake moment, recognizing opportunities in the rough, such as when he turned The Voice into his own personal talent incubator, or when he executive produced the drunken chaos of Barmageddon in the United States of America. Imagine a scarecrow serenade with pedal steel guitar, invoking Shelton's hits like God's Country, where faith and tenacity parallel the yellow brick road's rugged road. His country origins could lend Oz a twangy realism. Imagine this, a scarecrow serenade. Gwen Stefani, a pop artist who has won 3 Grammys and whose history screams reinvention, is another figure to consider, beginning with the ska punk insurrection of No Doubt's tragic who does not write songs alongside Shelton. She is in a position to infuse Dorothy with emotional depth and visual flair. Imagine Harajuku whimsy combined with Emerald City glamour. It's a creative and modern take on a classic, she commented enthusiastically, and being part of something that blends music, emotion, and the character of Dorothy is inspiring to me. As an executive producer on the animated series Huku Harajuku, she has a history that suggests she played a mischievous hand in the show's aesthetic, which is colorful, daring, and unabashedly feminine. It would be wonderful if we could hear Gwen singing a duet to Dorothy, her beautiful clear voice soaring above views of the skyline of Manhattan. Alternatively, the possibility of working together with up-and-coming musicians to create songs that transform Over the Rainbow into a synth-pop hit about the pursuit of viral fame. There are an infinite number of choices, just like a chorus line in Munchkinland. Dragons, or in this case, internet trolls, are an essential component of each fairy tale, whether they are real or imagined. After hearing the news, I became as bright as the witch's castle when it caught fire. There was a swooning from the couple's followers, Blake and Gwen on ours. This is the crossover we didn't know we needed. Country twang meets pop sass, exclaimed one user, while fans of Wicked hypothesized that there might be Easter eggs that tie into Ariana Grande's green-skinned Elphaba. Skeptics, on the other hand, in order to commit the sacrilegious act, an additional reboot of Oz? Leave Judy alone, shouted purists who were concerned that the 1939 film would lose its innocence if they did so. Others looked at the genres of the creators with amusement. Country in Oz. It sounds like a scarecrow with a hazy talking and stumbling phrases. An example of a classic clickbait division. The Daily Mail was also involved in stirring up the boil by contrasting joy against fury. The fact that Wicked made $1 billion at the box office demonstrates that people are looking for alternative interpretations of traditional tales. With the track record that Prime Video has established, The Boys, The Rings of Power, Dorothy have the funding and buzz necessary to silence those who are skeptical. Within the realm of creativity, this seems to be a match made in Oz. On the other hand, Stefani's eclectic edge lends shine to the fantasy, while Shelton's grounded, everyman attitude anchors the fantasy. They have established an empire together on the basis of improbable harmonies, from duets on The Voice such as Go Ahead and Break My Heart to their wedding in Oklahoma in 2021. When cowboy boots and bridal bling were an integral part of the ceremony. Their participation is not merely a celebrity checkmark, rather, it is a form of personal alchemy. Shelton's Oklahoma background are reminiscent of Dorothy's tenacity as a farm kid, while Stefani's childhood in Anaheim, with its aspirations of Southern California, is a reflection of the wide-eyed wonder. Additionally, the crew is comprised of non-writing EPs, such as Lee Metzger and Grant Sharboe. Yet, Blake and Gwen are the ones that guarantee to provide the emotional core. Imagine a scene in which Dorothy, who has not yet been cast, we are keeping our fingers crossed for a rising TikTok ingenue, confesses in a Tin Man voiced by Shelton, whose baritone rumbled with vulnerability. I got no heart, darlin', just echoes in this empty chest. Suddenly, Stefani's scarecrow is heard spitting verses about brain fog, and her vocals are reportedly scheduled for the year 2026, according to industry murmurs. This Oz appears to be prophetic in a world that has been ravaged by a pandemic, where young adults are required to navigate economic twisters and identity storms. This is not merely a means of escape, rather, it is a roadmap that is dotted with melodies. With the help of Shelton and Stefani's star power, Matthew's concept has the potential to give birth to a franchise. This franchise might include spin-offs for Glinda's girl boss glow-ups or the witch's redemption narrative when she becomes a viral influencer. Consider the possibility of receiving Grammy nominations for original compositions, Emmys for costume design, Hey, Ruby sneaker streetwear, and a live tour in which Blake and Gwen sing hits from the Oz album on stage. But the real magic is in the surprise, the kind of surprise that is so wickedly excellent that it completely defies expectations. The cowboy and the ska queen lead us back to Oz. Who would have thought that they would do it? Dorothy dares to imagine differently in a streaming world that is bloated with sequels. She is inclusive, tuneful, and joyously twangy. It is time to give a hollaback to the mundane, as Stefani may say. So everyone, give those ruby heels a good polish. Prime Video is preparing to unleash a miraculous storm, and when it finally arrives, we will all be singing along with it. The bluebirds are flying somewhere over the rainbow, right? Contrary to popular belief, in this Oz, they are reworking the hits, with Blake and Gwen leading the chorus. Simply kick 3 times, then press the play button, and the journey will start.